of Extinct Originals! And for this very special episode, we'll be featuring the LYKA costume, Jurassic Park The Lost World Velociraptor. But before we head on with this video, the guest SPC contest winners will be announced later on, so stay tuned guys! But first, happy birthday to Velociraptor706. Happy birthday! And now for the making of our Velociraptor. So first up, we have here painted and primered our two Velociraptors here. One will be the male Velociraptor and the other one will be the female Velociraptor. So I first coated it with gray primer, which is number 68 Bosny, and then another coat of white primer. We'll be using some acrylics here, of course some brushes over here, and some water. I will likewise be using a hair dryer so that we can dry it off in between coats. So first up, we have a mixture of white, burnt amber, and then some yellow ochre. Now we're mixing them together and we're coloring on the bottom parts of our Velociraptor here. So sometimes I would adjust depending on whether or I'm painting on the male Velociraptor and the female Velociraptor. I would add a little bit of burnt amber to the female Velociraptor because that's a more brownish tone. And then just keep it up light on the male Velociraptor. So moving along with the second coat, this is actually a mixture of the same colors that we had earlier on. I just added several more tones of browns as well as yellow ochre, and we're painting it on the next parts or the immediate parts after the lighter yellow underbelly. So for the female Velociraptor, this will be a little bit more darker, I guess, in terms of the coloration. So we're painting it on the topmost portions of this figure as well. So I added just a little bit of burnt sienna to this one, so it makes it a little bit more brownish, I guess. There's also some tones of orange here, so if you can, it might not be very clear on the camera. Yes. Now continuing on the paint with our male Velociraptor here, I have mixed orange as well as a little bit more of the yellows here, and we're painting it on the most portions of the Velociraptor. We're going to let it dry for a few more minutes, and then we're going to overlay it again with a darker coat of or a more red color on the topmost portion. So here we have it already painted, and now we're putting in the details on our male Velociraptor. So this is a mixture of black and burnt amber, and we're putting in the stripes on our Velociraptor. So I start off with the stripes on the head, and then moving along, we're moving down its neck, and then eventually down the body. So I try to do it one side at a time so that I would somehow create a more symmetrical look to it. And here is how it looks like. Now it's time for the female Velociraptor now. So with the same colors that we had earlier for the darker or for the male Velociraptor, we added in more of the white and added a little bit more brown to it. So we're just coating it on our Velociraptor here. Later on, we'll be putting in also more details on this raptor as well. So here we have it already dried. Now we're putting in the stripes and the scales on this raptor. So as you can see, the stripes are actually lighter than what we have on the stripes of our male Velociraptor. So with the same colors of burnt amber and also some black, we just added in lighter tones to it. So using the same colors that we placed on the bottom part of the or the underbelly of our Velociraptor. Alright, so now for some more details. So now we're just painting on the claws of our Velociraptor here, and then later on we will also be painting on the insides of the mouths, the teeth, as well as the eyes, and I guess that would be much of the details that we will be doing on this particular custom. So that's it for the making of our Velociraptor. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and also learned something from it as well. Of course, here is how it looks like so far. Now it's time for us to announce the SSPC contest winners, and here they are. First up, our lucky picks: Minpad, Emiliano, Pedro Melado, Ingo 101, Quartz, Matthias, Pyroraptor, Zacchaeus, The Backyard, Sunrise. Congratulations everyone, and of our top 10 winners: Jurassic Guy,
Top 10.
Gabriel Elkins,
Top 9.
Fred Bear the Bear,
Top 8.
Goji Fan,
Top 7.
Luca,
Top 6. Top 5.
Dino
Top
Nation,
4.
Aiden
Top
Stevenson, Cretaceous
Top
Rex,
2.
and Guillermo Mendes.
Top
Congratulations
4.
everyone, and I'll see you on the next SSPC contest. For those of you who would like to join, here's how. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And on the homepage, just click on that community link and it will lead you to all our posts. And now, on with Assembrix.
Okay, so let's begin by counting the number of parts to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 parts. Now let's connect everything else. So we have our head here with the lower jaw. Let's connect this to the body, and then here a piece of the back fits perfectly. Now the arms, that's the right. Left, the left leg, the right leg, and that completes our Velociraptor from the Lost World series.
And now let's have a little bit of Extinct Bricks Dino Trivia. The raptors that terrorized Jurassic Park were based on the Velociraptor relative Deinonychus anthropus, a much larger dinosaur that inhabited North America in the early Cretaceous period. Now for a closer look.
Alright, so here are the raptors that I have repainted, and these are actually from the mini raptors from my previous video, guys. So if you haven't checked that out, please check it out. So Evie here will be right back later on for some size comparisons with other raptors also that we have repainted. But for now, let's have a closer look on this raptor repaint, shall we? Bye for now, Evie. Okay, so let's start off with the male Velociraptor from the Lost World. As you can see here, it has this tiger-like stripe pattern to it. The transition between the white, the yellows, and the oranges are not very visible because I did somewhat a dry brush on this. Also, the stripes here of the black with a little bit of brown is quite striking, so it actually complements the oranges and the yellows on this particular figure. So moving in closely, you can see that the eyes here are actually, I used a permanent marker on this one with the smallest ballpoint on it. So you can see that it's quite, I really took my time in terms of marking this one, because if you screw on the eyes, you screw on everything. Alright, so please take your time in doing your repaint so that you won't mess up everything. So just in case that you indeed mess it up, then just repaint it again with the greenish eyeballs, and then put again and try again with your hand on your eyes. Or you could also do a sticker, but that's quite, I prefer just painting it on the figure. It's much easier and it's less taxing. Now let's take a look at the female raptor here, also from the Lost World. This will be the last video that I'll be having for the Lost World series, but if you do have other suggestions on other, dinosaurs that I missed so far on this particular, video series, then please let me know. Right, so this has a little bit, different colors. It's very similar to the Jurassic Park 1 Raptor, but still have those stripings and a little bit of orange tinge to it. So it's much lighter than our Tiger Raptor there, but you can see the details is much more intricate in terms of what the patterns are, not just straight stripes from here and there. So this is the female raptor for you guys. So this particular repaint, it took me around 4 or 5 hours in terms of painting it, but that excludes of course primering as well as preparing the actual figure itself before we even start on the paint. Right, so we will now be moving on with the next portion of this video.
This is size comparisons.
Alright, so let's now begin with our size comparisons, and starting off with this one here, Evie, compared to these raptors, is much accurate to the actual size compared to that Lego Raptor that we have, which is quite this big. I'll be putting in and showing you guys a previous repaint that I did on that one, but comparing it to this particular photo here, this Raptor sizes, this particular figure here is much more accurate than the Raptors that I've said earlier, which are the Raptors that Lego released from before. Alright, so let's now compare with, since I've been talking with regarding that particular Raptor, here is the repaint of a Raptor that I did before, also the Jurassic Park, the Lost World Raptor. See, it's quite large. It's almost the size of an Allosaurus, a small Allosaurus to be honest. The size is quite big, and you can see here the way I painted this is quite different than how I paint my Raptors right now. Yeah, so this one is the Raptor that I painted years back, so the detailing is much less than what I do on my recent repaints. So that one here. We also have other Raptors that I have painted recently, also with the same size. So we have here the Raptor squad, we have here blue, right, and the rest of the gang. So I'll be placing them here. This one, I think that's the order of how it is. I can't quite remember, it's been a long time now. So here we have blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. So I think that is the order where it is actually in, but yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong guys. Maybe this one is Charlie, or maybe this one is Charlie and this one is Echo. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, so that is our Raptor squad, and it's quite similar to how I actually paint nowadays, and you can see the level of details here, especially for how I painted blue. So I do have a separate video on this one, so please check it out guys. I'll be linking in the link. I'll be putting in the link below in the description box, so check it out. Alright, so let's now move on with the rest of the Lost World creatures that I have here for Extinct Break. So here they are. First up, we have here our BB Rex Jr. Of course, we have also our mama, our doe T-Rex as well. And of course, it's dad, our Buck Rex. So the size is quite accurate, to be honest. I like how the proportions are in terms of how big the Rexes are and these Raptors as well. So they're not as big as those Raptors that I've shown earlier, and yeah, so I think it's just the perfect size for this one. Now I think I'll be making also repaints on the, and also customs of the Velociraptor. So the Jurassic World Dominion is just around the corner, so I'll see you guys for more videos on Jurassic World Dominion. But for now, let's just focus on our The Lost World series, alright? Okay, so next up we have, first up, this Ophelia. So it's a little, it's one of the smallest that I've done so far in terms of customizing, and they're cute, they're colorful. I love the stripes, the blue head. So here's the Ophelia for you guys. Another one is this Hypsilophodon. So Hypsilophodon is a cute one. It's based off from the Isle, although you know I don't have an actual photo of the novel Hypsilophodon, so I base it off from this one. It's quite cute. I love the antennae like feathers on its head. So yeah, Hypsilophodon for you guys. Another one would be the Ornitholestes. So here are the Ornitholestes. It's now based off from the Dinosaur Revolution, and I like the coloration as well. It's quite colorful. The stripes on the back, the blue what do you call those, horns, as well as the eyes. So feathers also on the back of the neck. So yeah, the Ornitholestes. Another carnivore that I have done recently would be this one, the Lost World chameleon. Yeah, chameleon Carnotaurus. So it has a cute color to it. It's based off from the Jackson chameleon. The patterns and also the stripes on the back are also based off from the particular animal. And whenever I use this with other Lego foliage, it usually disappears. So it's quite it's quite hard for me to look for it. But yeah, so this is our the Lost World Carnosaurus, a bit much larger than our raptors here, of course. And lastly, we have our Mosaurus here. So Mosaurus is actually one of those herbivores that I've just recently discovered. I know I've read on it from before, but it was like decades ago when I was reading the novel. But the Mosaurus actually played a quite important role, and it's actually available as one of the toys by Mattel. And this is actually inspired from the coloration. However, I like the colors and the details also on the wiki photo that is available in Jurassic Park wiki. So I made sure that is also incorporated into the design and painting of this particular dinosaur. And I guess that's it for our size comparisons. Let's now move on with Extinct Breed Species Roll Call, and we have all the creatures here that I have presented so far here on this particular video, except of course the Velociraptor repaints that I've done earlier on. And if you do have other suggestions of other creatures that you'd like to see here, be it dinosaurs or prehistoric creatures or even pterosaurs, you can actually suggest them here on this particular video. Also, Evie here would like to remind you guys that all that you see here is actually available in our Extinct Breeds playlist over here, right? But I'll also be placing in individual links of all the creatures that you see here, including also the repaints of the Raptors or the Raptor squad that I showed earlier on. Alright? Okay, so let's now begin with the Extinct Breed Species Roll Call. Let's start with this baby Rex here. So this is Junior from the Lost World, of course Extinct Breed style. This is our Extinct Breeds Mosaurus from the Lost World as well. This is our Extinct Breeds Ornitholestes. This is our Extinct Breeds Jurassic Park the Lost World Tyrannosaurus Rex Doe. Of course, this is our Extinct Breeds Carnosaurus from the Lost World. These are Extinct Breeds the Lost World Hypsilophodon. This is our Extinct Bricks, The Lost World of Milia. And of course, the start of the show here, this is our Extinct Bricks, The Lost World Repaint Velociraptors. Alright, so guys, that ends our video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be putting in an extra video for you guys after this. So tune in and please wait until the end of the video. Thanks guys!
I think Evie feels safe on the other side of the fence. These running and active raptors are quite dangerous, to be honest. Well, that's it for the video guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. And for all your likes, your shares, and your views, thank you so much, and maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Also, please don't forget to support our other channels, Ibit's Universe and The Adventures of Moira and Usher. Please watch their videos and support their channel by subscribing. And as we always would say, let your inner dino brain roar! Thanks everyone, and bye!